How cool is that? We've got Jacksonville State taking on Middle Tennessee State. I should say CUSA, Wednesday night CUSA football. Jacksonville State taking on Middle Tennessee State in Conference USA action. Middle Tennessee, 4-point home favorites, 51.5 being the total in this game. So it's pretty much stayed around that number since it opened up. Jacksonville State, I'm telling you what, Conor Mac, that's one of the luckiest wins I had certainly last week in college football. Jacksonville State, somehow, some way, Sam Houston State finally discovers an offense, or that they have one. Last week, Jacksonville State, they couldn't move the ball a lick. A team that had, 13 points or something in their first 3 games combined. And then all of a sudden, they're going up and down the field for a large portion of that game against Jacksonville State's defense. But Jacksonville State made some good defensive adjustments. They held Sam Houston to just 7 in the second half. Credit to them. And they roared back from a big deficit to not only win the game 35-28 in overtime, but cover the initial point spread as well, laying anywhere from 6 to 6.5 in that game. Although you might have gotten a push like our guy Jimmy the Bag did, because he got +7 on Sam Houston State, which thank goodness he had +7 on that. That would have been horrendous for anyone that had just 6 or 6.5 on that Sam Houston State side. But Jacksonville State survives with the victory. Now they'll go on the road for a second straight week for a midweek, weeknight college football game here against a Middle Tennessee State team that has certainly looked porous here their last 2 games against Colorado State and Western Kentucky, especially on defense. Given up 31 points in both of those games. Haven't been impressed with the quarterback either. Up and down, he's been Vadiato, the quarterback for Middle Tennessee State. You know, I'll tell you what about Jacksonville State. They don't have a polished pocket passer on their team, whether it's Logan Smothers, who got the start last week, or Zion Webb. Rich Rod's been going back and forth between both quarterbacks. They're not great, passing quarterbacks, but this is a team that can absolutely run the football, and both quarterbacks can move with their legs a little bit. So the key matchup here is, can this Middle Tennessee State team stop the run? And if they can't stop the run, they're going to be in trouble. Well, the run defense numbers aren't great. 4.1 yards per rush allowed, 140 rushing yards per game allowed. It's not exactly what you want to see against a team that's averaging nearly 5 yards per carry and averaging 224 yards per game on the ground this season, which Jacksonville State is. I kind of like the dog here, Jacksonville State. I'm certainly not ready in their current form to lay points with Middle Tennessee State. Conor Mac, what do you think here to start the week?
Yeah, that's there's just teams that you don't want to lay points with, and like Middle Tennessee, even being here at home, middle of the week, they should be pumped up for this. I couldn't lay 3 points, not with this defense. I just wanted to hit on this total. I'd lean a little bit to the under. Middle Tennessee's defense has been okay, but they've had trouble scoring, and unders have cashed for them in this one. So I'm looking at the under, and I have to lean the points with Jacksonville State. I think they'll be able to run it, and I think they'll be able to keep this game close. This would be a good win for them, outright. But I think the 3 here is a close one.